Well, good morning, good afternoon here, I guess, actually. Started going through stuff here just for my own perusal today, and a couple things jumped out at me. But I thought what I would do is go through my watch list because, as you know, I save a lot of stuff to my watch list. Sometimes to see if it's going to sell, sometimes because there's some pictures or features that interest me and I want to go back and review, and I can go back and look at those pictures. And part of the time just because there's stupid stuff going on. Now, I had looked here and I've seen I got a couple of offers for things, and they're not showing right here at the top because they've expired now. Let me get down to the end and see if they go there, or see if they're still showing. They were a couple of the Atlas Shaper guards that were way overpriced to start with, and it looks like they've come down. Now, when you go through a watch list, what I've discovered is a lot of this stuff has been relisted multiple times, and it doesn't really tell you what the original price was. It just shows them as being here still in the watch list, and sometimes the descriptions have changed, I discovered, and sometimes the prices have changed pretty drastically sometimes. So thought we'd just go through here, and a lot of this stuff is things that I've said was so stupidly high priced or stupid just to buy anyway that I've saved them here just to check. And I'll just kind of go down through here and I'll throw up pictures when I edit this, and just a short picture. I'm not going to go in and really look at these, but Atlas Craftsman 1012 metal lathe headstock spindle bushings. This is just a standard oil light bushing, and I think the reason I probably kept this one, let me go in and look, is it probably gave dimensions for me. This has been listed for quite a while. I think the price is the same it doesn't give us the dimensions, it doesn't look like. So I probably just saved it because it was so stupidly high priced. And they want $30 for this used piece of crap. And like I've told you before, you go on these larger bushings, I would imagine you might have to go to McMaster-Carr for these. But these are going to be a $10 oil light bushing. They want $30 for this used piece of crap. So, it's the same stupid stuff. Now here's one that really has nothing to do with the Atlas machines we look at, but this was a clutch assembly, or it was an Atlas part, I think is the way it was originally listed, and this has been listed for months type of thing. They changed the description, and I'll show the picture of it. I did look at this and said I had no idea what it fit, what it actually fit, but I gave some speculation that it was some sort of a clutch assembly. Now the title's changed to Vintage Antique Atlas Industrial Sewing Machine Clutch Assembly, which probably makes more sense, and the price is now $49.99. As I remember, it was well over $100. I think it was like $125 or something they wanted for this, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, but I know the price was substantially higher than it is now. So one way or another, I think as I look through some of this stuff, I see prices have dropped quite a bit on a lot of things, and we're seeing some offers, or I'm getting some offers that are quite a bit lower than they originally were listed for. Here's an Atlas Craft. Well, no, we're not going to look at that because it's for a 12-inch. Set of Atlas 910 12-inch lathe 537 026 919 carriage slide nuts for a Craftsman. These would have been, it looks to me from looking at the outside, looks like cross slide and compound for a Atlas 910 or 12, which they probably would have all been the same. These were used nuts. They wanted $40 for them. You can buy brand new ones, I think, for 30 or 40 for these, which means you're going to have twice as much in a new set of nuts. But don't buy these used piece of crap nuts. These are junk. So I see the Atlas Craftsman, the casting kit that we've talked about the last couple of weeks. This is just the kit for the well, they're calling it a kit, but it's the 3 castings, the top and bottom half of a 10-inch steady rest. It's got the hold down clamp casting, and it looks like there's the 3 fingers, brass fingers, bronze fingers, whatever these are made out of, that he touts as being a kit. Well, I said it was the just 3 castings. It was worth $75 is all this thing was worth. I see now, and it was listed at $300. Now I see it's down to $280. So coming down a little bit, but not nearly enough. It's still only worth $70 or $80. Now, these have been listed for quite a while. This is the ratchet feed case, the outer cover for the shaper, for the Model 7 shaper. This is one that they're CNCing out that they want $208.35 for. Since they've gotten, since these are new, why he probably CNC'd or had CNC'd several of these out. I imagine as long as the dimensions are right, they work okay. And I have seen them mounted on at least one shaper I saw a video of someplace, or maybe for sale, something like that. $208 for the cover. I don't know. I wouldn't be giving that much for a machine cover. Now, if you're, at some point there may be something very close to an original being offered in some manner. We'll wait and see. But anyway. And while I'm going through here, for those of you that, I haven't shown any more of the top cover for the milling machine. I do have some of those successfully cast now. I'll start working on tooling to machine them out. And we will see those come to the website here, hopefully in the near future, because I've already got a lot of time invested in them and a fair amount of money invested in them too. But those castings are coming along. I haven't abandoned that project, or I just haven't made any real progress to show. Like I say, I do have some castings. I got the core box pretty well figured out. I'm still tweaking that a little bit. Ultimately, that pattern will go on a match plate, and I'm going to cast a few of those before I transfer them over to a match plate, because I built the molding flasks that I'm casting those in. I built 2 of those specifically for that. I've changed the way I gated that quite a bit, and I don't need that big a molding flask for that. So we'll probably build a couple more molding flasks, at least a couple more molding flasks, and then I'll go ahead and match that stuff to a match plate. So you may not really see the final casting product or final setup for me casting those until that's done. But we should, like I say, there's a little bit of tooling that I'm going to cast up and machine and build for those, for that casting itself, to make it a little bit easier, because there's a little bit of machine work to be done on those. And there again, I want that to be as efficient as I can make it. Otherwise, it's, takes more time. Is money. So anyway, here's a 10 by 30 vintage metal lathe 60-hole indexing mechanism. It looks to be this is a red 10-inch lathe that we looked at some point in time, and I'm not going to go in and look at it. I don't know exactly why I would have saved it, except I thought it was probably too high priced. I see it's listed at $12.95 now. Buy it now or best offer, local pickup. And this is from a dealer, so I don't know. I'm sure I probably said it was too expensive at that time. At some point I'll go back in and look at it and see exactly what's going on there. Atlas tool post grinder for machinist metal lathe. This is the tool post grinder we looked at here just a week or 2 ago, I think. They're wanting $600 or best offer and $60. These tool post grinders are worth about $250 is all I would give for them. Now, I do notice some things have come down drastically in price, and we're not seeing as much of the junk listed. So maybe they're thinking it's not, they're realizing it's not worth, and we're being more informed, and we're not spending the money on this crap. Now here's the arbor support, the bar, and then the bracket that goes out on the end of it. This is that one that they put out there for $650, and it's still here. And unless it's really changed out a lot, why it's going to be there for a long time at $650. That's stupid. That's stupid. What else do we have here? Original cast iron garden oil pan for an Atlas 7-inch shaper. This is the guard, and I don't remember if the oil pan's any good for it with it or not. Let's see. Let's look at this one again very quickly. Maybe this is the guard and the oil pan. Got the oil pan bracket. Looks like that ear is broken on it. Rusted up. Usually these guards are aluminum. Yeah, the other looks like the excuse me. Looks like the other ear of that guard is broken off. I don't really remember this. Yeah, one ear is broken off right up here. So it's not. it's not worth, you know, they're asking 375 bucks. No, 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 no. Original intact cast iron garden oil pan in used condition. See photos. 375 bucks and $25 shipping. Um, See, it makes no mention whatsoever about that one ear of the oil pan being busted off. So to me, that takes away a whole bunch from it right there. This is not a seller I really recognize as selling stuff. In the machine tool world here, there's some feedbacks there, but it's not worth that. It's worth, well, it's worth 200 bucks. 175 bucks in shipping. It's worth half. So there's somebody that hasn't figured out yet that, and I don't know, this has been here for quite a while. It's been listed for quite a while. I remember looking at this. Now here's a cross slide casting M1-5 for the milling machine. They want $79.99 and $7.85 shipping. The last one I bought, I waited for one, and I think I gave about 40 bucks for the one that I got that was in, I think, at least as good. And this is one of the sellers that's always been way too high priced. So the reason I mention that is I saw a new one, or another one, a new listing for one here that's way overpriced. We'll look at it here in a minute. Hopefully it's still there. What else do we have? Vintage Atlas V48 10-inch lathe. Catalog extracts available. Used, you know, 1,400 bucks and or best offer and local pickup. I'm sure I said this was worth about 800-900 bucks because that's about all they're worth. Here's a milling machine cutter arbor driver M1-567. I don't remember if that's the right number for the ones, but I reproduced this one. I think it's $60 for a brand new one. They want 60 bucks and $9 shipping. It's $60 or best offer for this used drive nut, and it's the holes all wallowed out here. You know, why would you buy this piece of shit? Okay, now this one I think was a new listing, and I saved it to my list already when I looked at this earlier today. Atlas horizontal milling machine, $1,800 or best offer and local pickup. Now this is already sold. Says in great running condition. Let's see if we can. Let's go back and look at the original listing because yeah, this sold. Somebody jumped on this, and this was not a. I think this was an okay deal. M1 1A model horizontal mill with tooling and cutters. Has full set of original manuals and price sheets, has homemade vertical spindle, which is not complete. And that's kind of what made it worth that much money. This machine doesn't look bad, although I didn't look at it super close. I just kind of glanced at it, and that's about all I'm going to do here. Now, it looks like to me it does have the arbor support. There's your drive nut. It's good. It's got quite a bit of tooling with it. Well, it's got some tooling with it. There's some cutters and stuff. I don't know. I believe I saw an arbor for the horizontal mill, or the horizontal setup of it. Looks like this handle may be busted off. The shift handle. Nonetheless, the thing that struck me as interesting is this guard right here looks to be the. I originally thought this was an original guard, and it may be somebody's fabrication of it for the vertical head, for the Marvin head. Like I say, you don't see too many of Marvins with the guard on the vertical head, and I don't know if this is original or if this is somebody's shop made. The rest of the vertical attachment is shop made, so this may very well be that way. So I didn't expect this to last too awful long. It doesn't look bad. It's been repainted, of course. You can see it's painted over the handle. And you know what, I question what's been changed, because that looks like a, well, that's a bearing obviously, but I wonder if that's a headstock bearing on a headstock. So has something been changed there? I really don't know. This is a replacement pulley. That would not be a factory pulley. It looks okay. You know, I don't have any real gripes with the machine. This is a later model machine. Of course, we've got a drawbar through the spindle. It looks to be pretty complete. There's your vertical support. There's the little pulleys that go for the vertical attachment. See, I'm not sure if that's an original attachment for the Marvin head or not. See, we've got some pieces back here that have been, you see the little rope tying them together. I'm not sure if those are actual spindle parts now that I see those, or exactly what the deal is. Got a fair amount of tooling. That's a replacement vise of some sort. Yeah, this handle's been broken. And this is the later model handle, which would have been proper for this machine, but there at the end of the handle's busted off there. Otherwise, looks relatively complete. I don't have anything that I can really say is bad about the machine. I believe that's a 1-inch arbor. Those kind of look like 1-inch arbors here. This is somebody's vertical head, or somebody's rendition of the vertical head. Mine's going to be a little bit different than that, but I've already started drawing those up in CAD. But anyway, I don't think this was a bad machine. $1,800, that's getting to be on the top end of what they're worth, but that also seems to be what they're bringing. So anyway, found that one interesting. It's from a seller that doesn't have a whole lot of feedback, so maybe it's actually somebody that's dealing for his own little shop there. So, anyway, there's that. Okay, these are guards for the shaper, both the large and the small, and I'm not going to go in and look at these. I had offers for these, knocking them down a little bit more than what they're offered for here. The large guard, and it says, both of these say he's relisted this item, so we'll go and look at the relist now. They're listed at $250, a large one $250, and then the small one at $250. Those were originally listed at least $300, and I want to say they were more than that. This is from a seller that's ripping us off day in and day out. And I said before, I have no respect for this guy whatsoever. But yeah, now they're listed for $250. You want $62.35 to ship the large one. And the listings have ended now too, so because the item is no longer available. It doesn't say it's sold, but it says it has ended on the large one. Let's see what the small one says. Yep, it shows it being ended too. They're not even close to worth this $250. The large one maybe $250 or maybe $200, and $50 shipping. But they're wanting $250, and I think he wanted $67 shipping, something like that. Small one he wants $250 and $22.45. That small one's worth about $125. It's used one's worth $100 is what it's worth. So, and this is a guy that's not going to learn. He's going to keep ripping everybody off as long as he can. Now here's a lithe micrometer cross slide stop that I saved. It's been sold. It's ended $152.50 is what it ended up with 26 bids. And I believe this is the one that was in the wrong box, or it came with the wrong box. Yeah, it's the one with the incorrect box that we looked at. $152.50 for a brand new one, and I think we looked at this and it was a brand new one. I think they're worth $75. Brand new maybe $100, but Feeding Frenzy went to 150. I'm gonna quickly go through the rest of these here. Atlas Milling Machine index centers. This was a set of index centers that had a set of gears with it and everything. One bid $450. That's a little high, but that's not that far out of line for what these have been going for. This is the same thing the guys are trying to get $455, $600 for, with just the centers with maybe one gear. Multi-position turret stock. This is for the turret lay setup. You've seen the one that I've got set up on my machine. $125. Buy it now. This one's sold, I believe. I'm not going to go in and look at it, but I believe it had sold. those Picomatic parts, I believe they both sold. They were listed, I think, at $300 a piece when we looked at them here a couple weeks ago. And did sellers relisted? Okay, this one just shows relist. Oh, okay. Now it's about the third time that it's been relisted. It came down to starting bid was $175 and free shipping, and there was no bids on it. Okay, it finally sold for $175 with one bid. That was the Picomatic brackets and banjos. That was for the guards, and then the banjo that went on the inside of it. We looked at those, and I said they were way too high priced, and I think $300 is what I think they were at. And I think, let's see, I can go to the last page of my saved list here. I think we'll see the same thing has happened with the other one. Now here's the MFC milling machine that had the Marvin vertical head that had the guard on it that we looked at a few days ago. This has sold 12 bids, $2,050. And you know, I think that's a lot of money for these, but it had the original Marvin vertical head with the guard on it. Now right below it is another one with a vertical head that didn't have the guard on the top of that head. They wanted $2,200, or it sold for $2,200. Okay, and the only other thing I'm seeing here on this, I thought the other Picomatic set of stuff had sold, but I don't see it here in my watch list now. Now here's on the very last item, and this is one that sold. This is another multi-stop that we looked at for the turret lays. It had a buy it now of $215 on it and free shipping, and it came with a wrench that was just a wrench. This is one that didn't have the proper nuts, or the proper lock nuts, which were a knurled nut to lock the studs in place. This didn't sell for $215. It sold for best offer. I looked at it a while back, and I don't know what the best offer was. You don't see it, but it certainly didn't go for that $215. Those multi-stops, you know, if they're in proper condition, they might be worth $150, but they're a limited use. You don't have a whole lot of room on the Atlases to be taking up real estate with a multi-stop. Okay, let's look at the rest of this stuff. Atlas Shaper. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff listed here, as I remember. Lantern tool post $80. I'm not even going to slow down for some of this stuff because I don't think anything was really that memorable, and we're already down into the little parts that go inside the ratchet on the Shaper that they want $60 a piece for, which are worth about 10. If we move right along, let's look at milling machines. Okay. Here's the MF Milling Machine Saddle Cross Slide Gibbon Nut M1-5. They want $124.99 and $22 shipping. We're going to look at this. I don't remember. This is a seller that parts out machines. We haven't seen much from him here lately, or I haven't. But this is nowhere. This is a piece of crap. This is worth about $40. Removed from an Atlas MF milling machine in good condition, no breaks or cracks. It's a machine that's being parted out, and we'll look at the big pictures is all we're going to look at. It does come with the gib for at least the cross slide. That's not the proper gib that goes here. That's a gib that goes down here. Those two set screws are wrong. No lock for them. Does have the proper lock for the knee. Got a wore out nut on it. Need to replace that. I mean, it's not in bad condition. It'd probably be fine to be rebuilding the machine with. The only reason I've been looking for one is I'm putting together the production mill, and I didn't have that part. But this is another one. It's worth $50. Knob and everything, it's worth 50 bucks. Not worth 125. 50, and those will fit. I believe that fits in a small flat rate box, so it should be 12 bucks. Same seller, got the table, $149.99. I'm not even going to go in and look at it. The table's not in bad condition. It looks like it's got some pitting on the top if you want to go and look at it. What do you need a table for? You know, I mean, there's no reason to be buying this. Leave them stuck with these parts that they can't, you know, if they're going to part out machines, leave them stuck with this stuff that they want way too much for. $25 shipping is not enough to ship it, probably. You know, to have it safely pack it and ship it out. 25 is probably not going to do it. It's probably more like 40 to safely ship that. 75 bucks. Tables worth 75 bucks, worth half. Okay, and then we're down into stuff that we've already looked at. So let's go to Lay's very quickly. Oh, they've got a couple of new ones here. 6-inch follower steady rest, $70 or best offer and $11.90 shipping. This is for the 6-inch. 70 bucks is probably not a bad buy. You know, it's a seller that's got a tremendous amount of feedback. I don't notice him really playing in the machine tool world, and there's nothing else we see on the description. We could go and look at the pictures very quickly. Shows the front, got quite a bit of rust on it. You know, it'd clean up and redo. Yeah, it's rusted up and everything. It's probably worth 70 bucks. You know, that's something, if somebody needs one, I'd jump on that one. That's probably a good buy. So we'll see how long that lasts. Below, it's a milling attachment for $3.25. We're not going to look at that piece of shit. Got a bunch of change gears that look like these are steel. Somebody's built these. These are not factory parts. We're not going to go look at them. Now here's a 10-12 inch lathe milling attachment with the vise. M6 got the drawbar. Looks like it's got drawbars. $179, no bids, and $25 shipping. Let's see what we got here. Not really a seller I recognize. Partial parts for boring tool holder, M6 990, and cutter holder set 945. Unsure of what's missing. It appears nearly like new. Excuse me. Nearly like new. Couple of drawbars. Probably factory drawbars, since I don't see any handles on the ends of them. Of course, I don't see a handle on the end of that one either. Maybe I just can't see it. Doesn't look to be in bad condition. Doesn't have the adapter. Looks like we got a few little gizzies here. These go to the shaper tool holder, it looks like to me. That's for the mill drawbar. That's the little floating piece that goes over the edge of the drawbar and centers it up. Got that little centering cone on it. And that's a spur for wood turning. That looks like some sort of a cutter holder. Don't know for what. Oh, maybe that centering cone fits one of those drawbars. That would be proper. So that was a dual use. I didn't realize they put those on the drawbars, but makes sense that they did, at least on some of them. Okay, so tool holder, boring tool holder. To me, those look like the same tools that would go to the shaper tool holder, but maybe not. I'll have to investigate. I learn something new every day. Learn something new every day. Missing one screw. Missing one screw there. Looks to be in pretty good condition. So, worth 180 bucks, and that's on a bid. Huh. Interesting. Okay, and those are new since I've looked. 6-inch half split nuts, used, 49 bucks with no bids, 3.89 shipping. Why would you buy used half nuts? That's stupid. And see, I believe this will probably be the same seller on all of this stuff, where he's trying to make his fortune. Used, all in good condition. I'm not going to go and look at these gear sets. 9 threading change gears, all in good condition. You know, I've kind of shown you before what to look for condition on these. A lot of these that they say are in good condition are pretty well shark toothed up, where they've been run with improper clearances, dry, something like that. So 618 101 lathe steady rest pre-owned, 180.47 and 22.50 shipping. Nope, these are worth 100 bucks. 100 bucks, 100 bucks. Oh, and it's sold. Somebody gave way too much for it. Huh. Huh, huh, huh. 13-inch steady rest for a metal lathe. Maybe South Bend, Atlas Clothing, or Logan. Pre-owned. $400. Buy it now, and $17.05 shipping. If you don't even know what the hell it fits, it's sure as hell not worth 400 bucks. Another dope smoker. You know, somebody getting their holiday cheer before Christmas even gets here. This is stupid. I've always seen this one listed before. You know, you don't know what it's worth? That's a $75 rest. That's all that's worth. 10, 12-inch metal lathe apron compound slide TD-9 pre-owned, 550 bucks. Nope, worth 150. Worth 200 maybe. Maybe 200. Anyway, I think we're back. We're not quite back to where we were, but here's a, let's see who's listing this. Yeah, this is a new seller that we don't really recognize anyway. Atlas 618 Craftsman 101 lathe compound top slide M6-303, and he wants 75 bucks for it. Nope, it's top slide casting. It's worth about 40 bucks. It's worth about 30 bucks is all that's worth. 30 bucks. Don't give him any more than that. This is for a 6-inch lathe. Got no internals. It's worth 30 bucks. That's all you get. Same salaries, parting out stuff. 618 101 lathe, gear case, shift shaft, gear shaft pinion. 30 bucks, no bids, $9 shipping. No. Pitted up, dirty, grimy. Look at how ogled out those teeth are on that gear. For 15 bucks. Atlas 10F lathe threading stop pre-owned, $129.99 or best offer. Yeah, this is one of the sellers that sticks it to you when given the opportunity. Let's wonder what lies he's telling down here. Yeah, doesn't tell. He's ashamed to even say anything. Big picture, standard cross slide stop. I've been threatening to build these. I've got all the drawings here for them. It's nowhere near worth $129. 49 bucks. 49 bucks. That's all it's worth. So yeah, I don't know what they're thinking here. Well, I do know what they're thinking. They're thinking they're going to rip you off royally here. That's what they're thinking. Why would you even consider something like that? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think we're back down into stuff that we've already looked at before. Yeah, nothing else intriguing there. So anyway, hopefully you find that a little bit interesting, useful in your search for parts, knowing that you don't want to buy from most of these sellers until they get a little reality check and come down off their high and realize what this stuff is actually worth. So anyway, that's what we've got. Little aside, patterns I'm working on, and this one's still just in the rough here. Some people will at least somewhat recognize that as the beginnings of patterns. And this is not a good 3D print. This is just a bunch of parts that I was putting together as a kind of machining template and checking things for size and stuff like that. So on these bigger patterns like this, we're gonna make our actual patterns in good old wood, and they make a better pattern, and they come out. They're easier to set up and build. You know, the only advantage to these larger patterns in a 3D print is then I've taken and modeled them up in Fusion 360 and have a little bit better idea of how I want to machine them. But I'm not sure, other than just a quick visual check, that it's worth me taking the time to print out stuff like that. So anyway, that's what we got. Hopefully you find that interesting. Comment suggestions, leave them in the comment section for me below. I'm sure I will talk to you before, but for those of you that miss my next video or two that comes out before Christmas, you have a Merry Christmas, and be safe, have a Happy New Year, and we will see you all later. Thanks for taking the time to watch, guys.